Hi guys, so MCO has been going on for what, 2 months, nearing 3 months. So we haven't, due to the nature of our business, we have not had the chance to review any new cars since that time. Okay, but today I'm finally breaking the fast, buka puasa already. Yeah, so this is the Ferrari F8 Tributo. No, it's called the Tributo actually, but I kind of like the way Tributo sounds. Okay guys, so here you have it. This is the Ferrari F8 Tributo, and so this is basically a successor of the 488. All right, and Ferrari's convention is that they have they segregate their cars according to what you call it, to drivetrain configuration, to body configuration. So you have this you have the mid-engine V8s, you have the front engine V8s, the front engine V12s. So this comes from the mid-engine V8 family that previously also included these guys. Okay, you have the F430, the F355, 360, 458, and more recently the 488. Okay, so this is a direct successor to the 488, and in fact most of its mechanical underpinnings are taken from the 488. So the chassis is a heavily updated version of the 488. The engine, the 3.9 liter twin turbo V8, is also updated from the 488. It's not out of date. Okay, this thing makes, the engine makes what, 720 Italian horsepower, more than 700 Newton meters of torque, so it has plenty of go. That's why it's called the Tributo, because this is Ferrari's most powerful V8 ever. And the looks of this car, it's a stunning car to behold, and really hunkered down, almost supercar proportions. Okay, you see the proportions of this car, right? If you look at it from certain angles, to me it reminds me more of, like, you know, the Zondas, the Koenigseggs, that segment of car. It's absolutely stunning. This car is absolutely stunning, and you look at the vents that they put all over, right? You cannot argue. You also cannot argue that they are excessive. I mean, look at the tail end of this. Look at this tail end. So here they have put back the quad tail light configuration for the first time since, I think it was the 430. Okay, and check out the diffuser, that very flared and aggressive diffuser. I think that's the most bit of this. I think is the busiest bit of the whole of the car's entire design, but the rest of it, right, it's just stunning to behold. And you should see how they lay out the engine. Okay, let me just find. Here's the boot release. Sorry, the bond. Yeah. So this piece, okay, this is Ferrari has a name for it. It's basically a knock it. It's not glass. It's a perspex type of material. There's a special name for it. And look at this. The way this engine is laid out, right? It reminds me really of a superbike. It evokes visual references to a superbike, and I think this is definitely one of the sexiest engine bays that currently in the market right now. Absolutely stunning to behold. And there's a glass piece there that separates the engine from the cabin. Okay, so so it minimizes the amount of heat that goes from the engine here into the cabin. Okay, I mean, and this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant, because it is a Ferrari. You've got a stunning engine. you just show it off to the world. This is a lovely, lovely piece of design. Okay, now let's go inside the car. Now, seat belts don't, this seat belt didn't retract. So yep, not Ferrari's brightest moment there. But then again, Ferrari has never been big on build quality. So we start with checking out the door card. Very simple door card. You've got a mix of Alcantara in trim here, together with this leather trim up here as well. Okay, nice choice of materials. We'll just get inside. So inside here you see that first thing, there is no center screen here. All you have here, this is the climate control switch. This is an auxiliary screen for the passenger that shows you some basic driving data. Right here, what you have here, this is the what you call it, the infotainment control switch, which you can lie with which you can interact with on the screen. Okay, so let me just press this button here, and there you go. You can adjust to a various amount of features. So you can press this, all right, navigation, phone, settings. So there you go. Okay, and passenger touch screen. Okay, so this is the screen for the this is the screen. This is to interact with this screen. And over here on this screen, okay, you can then interact with this, but with this array of controls. So this is one feature that is covered. So here you have digital speed, right? I adjust this down. Analog speed. I think I'll keep this display. Huh? What do you guys think? So, like Bobby pointed out in one of his videos, right? Ferrari did a smart thing by moving all the display, all right, onto the what you call it, the instrument cluster, and also this side little screen here. Because you see, the thing is this: as technology develops, software are improving leaps and bounds fairly quickly. So when you have a center screen here, this center screen, the software, the user interface becomes out of date very quickly. So when you keep things simple, you put them all into tiny little screens, it keeps the whole cabin design generally timeless. Okay, now as you go down the center console here, there's a cup holder, there's a slot here for you to park your key. This is all finished in Alcantara material. Okay, there's no gear lever. Here are the power window switches. Handbrake switch is here. Okay, there's no gear lever. So right now I'm in neutral, right? So when I press this button, it is to engage reverse gear. Okay, to move forward, what I need to do is to pull this pedal. So when I pull this pedal, it engages first gear. It is in automatic mode. So I just drive forward, and it engages first gear. All right. To disengage the transmission, what I have to do is to pull both pedals simultaneously, and it goes to neutral. Okay. So but look at these seats, guys. These seats. Check these seats out. The design of these seats, really lovely to behold. Manual adjustment. Okay, so every time when you get in and out, especially for the driver, you have to pull yourself all the way back in order to have easy entry and and exit. Okay, but yeah, overall this is the cabin. Fairly simple design. Okay, but they've put some flair in the way, in the shapes and the lines. Build quality is, well, it's decent, but not at the level of, I would say it's one step down from, if you were to compare it with Bentley or Aston Martin. Okay, like where you see here, the stitch patterns don't align that perfectly, but it's minor nitpicking. Okay, I think definitely better than what I experienced recently with Maserati. Okay, so yeah, and basically a fairly simple cabin. And let's get on with the drive. Hi guys, something to share with you is big. It is an interior design competition open to interior designers across Malaysia. Interior designers are asked to translate Volvo's new generation design language into a home space. You look at what Volvo car have been doing with their interior, take that thinking, apply it in the design of a home.
Evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence.
This year we are back as the Volvo Car and Horizon Eco Design Challenge by Duduk. The stakes are higher. Naturally, because of the ongoing coronavirus crisis, we can't bring you to Sweden anymore, but we are going to bring you business instead. 4 million ringgit worth of design and furnishing contracts to be won. And the submission process is very easy. Just take whatever completed projects that your firm has already done, post that on your official Facebook or Instagram, tag us. The specific instructions are posted online. You can go and check it out. Link is in the description section below. Tag us in your post and we'll select 12 finalists. These 12 finalists will be given the layout of an actual Duduk by EcoWorld property unit, which is 1,000 square feet large. You guys need to propose a design to furnish that 1,000 square feet space within a stated budget. If you are chosen among the winners, you will be contracted by EcoWorld to translate whatever is it that you have designed into actual units that homeowners will be able to buy. Not like just 1 unit, 2 unit, but the whole floor. Share it with your friends and we can't wait to show you more. Stay home, stay safe. Okay, so this is my first time. Well, it's not my first time driving a left-hand drive car, but it is my first time in a left-hand drive car on the streets of KL. Now, of course, right now I'm just still driving out of the NASA Italia compound. Okay, so now there's a speed bump coming up. Let me just approach that speed bump and I can report to you straight away.
Turn right on Jalan 51.
It's not bad. We negotiated this speed bump pretty well. Now, this is my first time in left-hand driving KL. Oh,
in 700 meters.
Lovely acceleration.
Turn right on Jalan 14/15.
But here's the thing, because this car is a specially brought in demo car, alright, and which eventually will need to be shipped out to another country. There is a limit to what I will be able to test this car, alright, to the full limits of its potential. I can't really, I won't want to take unnecessary risks with this car. I have to be extra cautious. Okay, very tall bump here. Didn't scrape my belly. Nice. Oh, okay. And right now I'm driving on a road
300 meters. Turn right.
with plenty of undulations, and the comfort levels is surprisingly good. It's the right quality right now as I'm experiencing this, and the drive
Turn
mode
right
is set to sport.
14/15.
This whole Ferrari thing about not having an indicator is a bit unusual to me. I'm still getting used to it, but it's a good thing.
Meters.
So you press
right
your
14/1.
you press your wait, let me just. So basically, you just press the switches left, right to signal, right? Okay. So what was I thinking? Oh yes. So firstly, now I'm going through like some patches of road. The comfort, the suspension pliancy is I would say, in context, absolutely outstanding.
14/1.
Okay, it's the kind of ride that I believe I won't have problems living with this on a day-to-day basis.
Turn left onto Lagutara.
All right, it's not crashy, it's not jarring. And right now, currently I'm navigating through some tight corners, tight roads rather, residential roads in the older parts of Petaling Jaya. This car does not feel intimidating to drive. So certainly, I would say it is a passable day-to-day car if you're so inclined. But we don't evaluate, of course, a Ferrari on those metrics. But amazing usability, amazing usability. What I'm feeling now is that this car has been an utter breeze to drive. So composed. The ride is very, very composed. You know, it gives me the feeling, it gives me the assurance that I can deploy its power confidently. Just a word about visibility. It is understandably compromised because of the narrow opening at the back, but so far the side mirrors seem to give me good view out of this, a good view, and it's because of the Perspex boot or bumper, or bonnet over there covering the engine, that it sort of distorts your rear view, but it opens just enough for you to see that there is another car out there. It's a weird feeling, man, driving on Federal Highway in a left-hand drive car. Okay, in all honesty, dealing with the traffic, watching out for traffic is proving to be a bit of a challenge, but it's not the kind of thing that you would need to worry about if, you know, when you drive your F8 in right-hand drive configuration. But it's quite an experience. Quite an experience. What a way to get back into car reviewing after MCO, man. Well, thus far my impressions of this is that as I sliced my way through all that traffic, right? This is a very capable, okay, very effective car that is capable of going very fast with very, very little fuss. Absolutely no drama at all. Wow! It took that expansion joint just like that. Very, very accomplished suspension setup. Very accomplished. The ride of this car is absolutely sublime in the context of what it is. Absolutely sublime.
In 1 kilometer.
It's one of those cars that you know, if you have to live with on a day-to-day basis. Now you see, right now I'm at those stupid red painted expansion joints. No fuss. Absolutely no fuss. This, I would say, is easily more comfortable than even the new G23 series, the M Sport version now, of course. And oh, this is quick. This thing is quick. The steering is, you know, compare this with the GTC4 Lusso that we drove earlier, right? This steering is actually better weighted. The front end of this car is not as reactive as the GTC4 Lusso. So it's not as nervous a car when you are doing high-speed runs on the highway, because with the GTC4 Lusso, yes, when you point it at one direction, it goes, but the flip side of it is that when you're going on a highway, you want to maintain a straight line trajectory. There is a lot of corrections to make. and sometimes when you accidentally move your steering a little, it sort of like upsets the balance and the stability of the car. With this one, it feels a lot more forgiving. So we are going on the highways. Okay, and I'm escaping slip road onto the main lane of the highways. Oh my god, an acceleration! Oh. Oh god. Okay, now whatever I said just now about this car not offering the kind of drama that one should expect from a Ferrari, it's not quite true. Okay, the performance, that sheer, you know, relentlessness of its acceleration. So the drama is there. Okay, the drama is there. But the thing is this: when you are pottering around town, right, when you are clocking just 2,000 RPMs, doing 70-80 km/h runs, that is when you feel that, hey, you know, the car is, yes, it's civilized, but that's when you also find that, hey, you know, it's a bit kurang lah, the drama, you know, it doesn't have that rich engine note that we have come to expect from Ferraris. It doesn't have that rich sound that only a naturally aspirated engine can give you. Okay, so with this one, you need to put in that effort. You need to push it closer to its limits. That is when you get a bit more oral drama on your side. Okay, with it, yeah. But in terms of normal day-to-day driving, all right, like let's say that when you're just scooting around at 70-80 km/h, right, the older fashion NAs will give you a more enriching engine note than this one here, because this one at low speeds, it's just a very undramatic what you call it, undramatic experience. Okay, so I'm on my way to return the F8 Tributo. I would say what a day it has been, man. Seriously, you know, almost what 2-3 months without reviewing a car, and suddenly I find myself in a Ferrari. Gotta say, this is typical Ferrari lah. It's you don't need me to tell you that this is a fantastic car to drive. Great performance, great dynamics. But what really is the surprise to me is how friendly this car is to use on a day-to-day basis. I mean, some of the controls, the ergonomics are not do not follow the template of conventional cars, but they make complete sense. Like, you know, putting the signal switch on the steering wheel, for example, the drive mode control switch on the steering, right? The two digital screens flanking the central rev counter, and where, you know, you have one set of controls here to control one screen, the other set of controls that next control the screen. It's all arranged in a supremely logical fashion that even though it's not ordinary, it's not something you have trouble figuring out. Okay, of course, in terms of the cabin build quality, the selection of materials, it's good, but of course it's not to the level of Bentley or Aston Martin. But that's entirely in keeping with the respective identities, because the Bentleys and the Aston Martins, their place in the world is to really feel luxurious, to really feel atas, to really feel mahal. Whereas a Ferrari, they built these cars to be whacked on track. Okay, even the most luxuriously appointed Ferrari that you can get is built to be abused on track. So naturally, the interior finishing, the interior quality finishing, it won't match up to those luxury atas British marques that aim to be a more gentleman kind of ride. Then the other aspect also is the dynamics, the way the car turns, its ride, its throttle response. At low ends, you know, in urban driving conditions, it's so easy to manage this car. You don't find it at all intimidating. But of course, the flip side to this argument is that at you know, when you're driving through residential roads, you're driving through at low to moderate speeds, there is an almost complete absence of drama. You know, you don't see any big difference driving this than a regular car, and you can take that both as something, as a compliment and as a criticism at the same time. Okay, so it's on one hand no fuss to use, but on the other hand, you sometimes just want that little ounce of drama. You see, the thing is this car is not short of drama, but accessing that drama requires you to see a wide open road or to be on Sepang, push the car up to 5,000-6,000 RPM, okay, and ring the bejesus out of the engine. But let me ask you this, on Federal Highway, you know, where it's always, you know, heavy traffic, how often will you be in a situation where it is safe to rev a 700 horsepower engine to 5,000-6,000 RPM every time? Not often. Okay, so yeah, some online reviews do say that this car does not quite deliver on the drama, and it's true. But in a way, it's true. But what is the more refined version of that truth is that to access that drama, you need to drive it in conditions that are not commonly accessible conditions. Okay, I'm almost there already, right? But make no mistake, this is a thoroughly capable vehicle. Okay, it is it's a car that does the in true Ferrari fashion, it does the business of going fast very, very effectively. And yeah, so overall, this is just such a fantastic, you know, all-round car that you can have a lot of fun in going up Genting, going up Uluyam. You can use it to go to pasar. You can use it to send your kid to school. You can cover decent distances on the highway. So all in, it's a very, very good all-rounder car. It's lovely to be reviewing cars again, and what an occasion it is, man, to come back to first car to review after MCO is Ferrari. Is a Ferrari. And so not all car companies are giving test cars out again. Some are still cautious, some are still preparing their fleet, but yeah, so there you can start slowly looking forward to more car reviews again. And yeah, recently, the last few days, the coronavirus numbers are continuing to come down. It's continuing to be looking optimistic. But let's not let our guard down. Okay, let's continue to keep up our social distancing practices, continue to keep up our good hygiene practices, and hopefully we will beat this together. We hopefully we will stop the chain of transmissions, and hopefully Evo Enduro can proceed as planned, as announced before this. Okay, so yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Stay tuned for our next video. Okay, cheers. This one, okay, the vent actually starts from under here. So to show you, I'm putting this little bottle cap here. Pop! It's dropped down.